Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're just starting the show. We have this information that we get from the United Nations that the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guteres, had a one-on-one meeting with the Cameroon Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mbella. Mbella. That's the name of the La Republique Minister of Foreign Affairs. So, from the discussions that we know, we heard that they had series of discussions when it comes to the crisis in Ambazonia, southern Cameroon. Okay, and we hear that this formal meeting was to discuss the worsening humanitarian crisis in the southern Cameroon region, and we know that the crisis has taken toll on the Cameroon government. They are seeking for ways to get out of the crisis. Okay, but it is rather unfortunate that people that the government does not know how to resolve the crisis that they started. The United Nations has made its points in the past. Okay, the Secretary General Antonio Guteres should stand up and avoid this situation in the southern Cameroons. Okay, Paul Biya has been a genocider for the past 7 years in Ambazonia, and the international community should stand up and make a case, okay, for a United Nations peacekeeping force to create a buffer zone for these people of southern Cameroon. This is a case of a neglect, okay, where the international community has neglected the crisis in Amazonia. Okay, they call it Anglophone crisis. Okay, but we know that it's Ambazonian war or the war of liberation. Okay, this is an ongoing armed conflict between Cameroon and Cameroon La Republique and the Ambazonian liberation forces, right? But the United Nations and other, like the other agencies and the countries, okay, they have to address this. The work of the United Nations is to maintain international peace and security, protect human rights, okay, and deliver humanitarian aid to any area. But for now, we have a case that has been abandoned. The Ambazonian crisis is one of those crises that have been abandoned. Okay, you see how the United Nations is active in other crises, right? Okay, the United Nations must stand up, because its goal is to safeguard this peace, protect human rights. Okay, the escalation of this crisis has been since 2017. You've seen how many Ambazonians have been killed, how many thousands have been displaced. We have thousands of prisoners of war in La Republique prisons and jails, languishing in those jails. For the only crime they commit is that they are requesting for justice. Okay, we are trying to work with the United Nations. We're trying to work with any regional organizations that we are a country that has been recognized by the United Nations. Okay, this crisis is between two countries, and the United Nations must own up to this and make sure that they play a major role in the in the crisis. Okay, the numerous massacre, scorched earth policy. You heard Ambassador Thibault Nagy mention this, that the Cameroon regime cannot win this crisis militarily. They cannot, because the people of Southern Cameroon are determined to take back their country. Okay, we are trying to make sure that we work with the United Nations. The meeting between the Secretary General and the Cameroon La Republique Foreign Minister Lejeune Mbella is a sign that there is something in the pipeline working within the United Nations. Okay, so we are hoping the La Republique government, the regime of Paul Biya, after all these human rights violations, extrajudicial killings, torture of our people, okay, destruction of property, burning of houses, okay, these are issues that are inhumane and degrading to our people. Okay, imagine the kind of degrading condition that people are living in these dungeons called prisons. Okay, it is just violation of international human rights. And when we see people ignore, the international community ignore these violations, these gross violations of human rights, I mean, I don't know if this is the next Rwanda, all right? Because we see the La Republique military is trying to exterminate the people of Ambazonia because they kill and kill without remorse. Okay, this is what we are talking about. But it is really sad that we have the international community silent on these crimes. Okay, how do they want to resolve a crisis but they are silent on the crimes? Okay, so we are saying that this meeting that was held, we hope that we can see something coming out from the meeting. Okay, the international community, we are very, very positive that something will come out, because La Republique does not want to go for negotiation. They don't want to sit with the Ambazonian leadership and talk, right? And so the only solution, if the international community cannot push them to sit down, they can still force them to agree on the referendum option, because you cannot wait for somebody to go for negotiation and the person does not want to go for negotiation, but the person prefers to keep killing, going against international human rights, massacring people, doing the scorched earth policy, and there's no sanction on the country, right? There's no sanction. We can still laud the United States, okay, for cutting Cameroon from the African Growth and Opportunity. Sorry. The United States cut Cameroon from the African Growth and Opportunity Act. It's called AGOA. That was good, okay? And this was over allegations of human rights violations in Ambazonia, okay? Imagine what the La Republique is doing. La Republique is the first, the United States is the first country to give this kind of sanctions, okay? They also gave even the military sanctions, right? That they cut the military support that they gave to the Cameroon government fighting the Boko Haram. The materials that they were giving, that the United States gave the Cameroon government to fight the Boko Haram in the north, they were instead using that material to fight the Ambazonian people. So the United States cut off the ties, this military support, and also AGOA, this African Growth and Opportunity Act. So these are allegations that even the Amnesty International investigated. Okay. Yes, they warned the Cameroon government. Okay. Because of all the sexual harassment and stuff that they were doing, the physical and psychological violence that these guys are committing with their bees, their military, okay, in the Ambazonian region. Okay. So this is something that the United Nations must step up. Okay. The United Nations must step up. We are happy that this session there was some meeting between the Cameroon, as you can see in the in the photo. You can see the photo behind me. You see that that's Antonio Guteres and that's Mbella, who is the La Republic Foreign Ministry minister. So we hope that through this discussion, something good will come out, and we're going to be seeing some positive feedback in the in the near future, because that is what makes the United Nations valuable, right? Their mission of keeping international peace and security, protect human rights, and deliver humanitarian aid. We want to see that, and if they can keep to these promises in Ambazonia, because Ambazonia is the number one crisis that has been neglected. This is the 7th year. Contrast it with the crisis in Ukraine, where you have in the American pouring support, the EU pouring support, and so why is it that the Southern Cameroon crisis, the Ambazonian crisis, is neglected when there is gross violations of human rights? We are just calling on the United Nations to up their game, all right, to up their game in safeguarding peace, to protect the human rights that's the job of the United Nations. In case of a crisis, they have what they call the R2P, responsibility to protect. They have the responsibility to protect when a country or any ethnic group is being on the verge of ethnic cleansing, where you have this Kosh-Ed policy. And what Ambassador Chibonyagi is saying is very, very true, because they have seen the amount of massacre that has gone in Ambazonia, okay, and everything is gone unpunished. La Republic has not gotten any sanction. Imagine the Gabu massacre. Imagine the Pinin. Imagine all this massacre. Ekona to Kumba. Santa. All these are massacre that they kill our people in cold-blooded. Innocent civilians lost their lives. Okay. So we are calling on the United Nations to act now before it escalates, because what we are seeing now is a continuous killing of our people, and we are urging the United Nations to try to facilitate and engage both La Republic and the Ambazonian leadership, okay, for a kind of to mediate in the conflict. We are looking forward for something that can really go towards the United Nations Security Council agenda, because that is what we are hoping for. Okay, We are looking towards all the multilateral institutions, from the international civil society organizations and other organizations, to come in, because this is what has been documented. All these crimes, all these atrocities committed by La Republic military, from international, the Amnesty International, to other agencies. Okay, we know of the United Nations Commission on human rights abuse, also documented last 2 years about what the La Republic military is doing in Ambazonia. So these are documented evidence. This is not something that you just come and say there's genocide, there's massacre. These are documented evidence. Thousands upon thousands of Ambazonian people have been killed. More than 6,600 villages and houses has been burned down. Okay, if this is not Scotch Earth policy, what other name can you give? And the United Nations stand by silently and watch why there is this gradual extinction of the people of Ambazonia. I think it's high time the international community step up. Okay, they have to step up, because I know they're trying to block these recommendations, but the majority of the international community want to see some form of dialogue and negotiation going on. Like we have seen some push from Canada, Switzerland, United States. Okay, we don't want to start criticizing the United Nations. Okay, because we have seen that lack of efficacy coming from the United Nations. We want them to preemptive, have preemptive measures, right, to de-escalate this conflict. This has been 7th year, okay, and we have not seen them really come in. Just from this session of the UN meeting with Lojen Mbella from the La Republic foreign minister. And we hope that something will come out from it. And Antonio Guteres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, the meeting that they held on the sidelines of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The exchanges of these two personalities, we hope that these prospects will help to buttress something coming like a negotiation process, because this crisis will drag and drag and drag. Okay, the United Nations should step up, like I mentioned. Okay, we hope that this informal meeting can yield some fruits. We are looking towards negotiation process. We are looking towards the United Nations peacekeeping. We are looking towards something that can stop the war, stop the crisis. Okay, and that responsibility to protect is what we are looking, that the United Nations should act now. There is no time. All right. Thank you very much, and God bless you, and have a blessed day today. We are looking towards that solution as soon as possible, because we are not sure of why up to now the international community is silent on this crisis. We hope there will be some form of resolution, and the international community will come and do something as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. This is ID Mind Media, Radio and Television. This is your host, Fritz Misodi, on the show Political Lab. Thank you very much.